Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I'm so happy you're joining me again today on the Reverse Confetti YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a very summary card with some products from the latest Reverse Confetti release. If you haven't seen it yet, it dropped last week and it's such a good one. I have some new favorite products to share and this is definitely one of them. It's a very summary stem set and it's so adorable. It's all dog images and there's even a separate stem set that you can get with punny sentiments to go with it. And I love that they're doing separate sentiment stem sets because sometimes you want the sentiments and sometimes you just want the images. And I am very happy that you get the options. So I am stamping this little surfer guy from the Dog Days stem set. And I stamped him in Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I finally got a refill. It's been ages. And then I left the stamp in my Misti while I was coloring because, especially with those sunglasses, I want some embossing powder on there. And you know that embossing powder and alcohol markers don't mix well. So I'm just coloring him in. It's really easy to do. I just put some shading on the left side of his body and underneath the sunglasses, and then I can add some more interesting colors than gray to the surfboard. I am making a rainbow surfboard because I couldn't really decide on the colors for the surfboard. I already had a blue background in mind, or a blue backdrop, so it's pretty neutral. So I figured I would just go all out with the surfboard and make it rainbow. I really love how the surfboard turned out actually. I am never really sure about doing anything rainbow with my alcohol markers because I'm still not great with finding the right marker combinations. But this one turned out pretty well and I think I should have written the combinations down because I already forgot them. I put the paper back in my Misti. The stamp was still in there, so it's stamping in the exact same spot, and I stamped it with Versafine Onyx Black this time so I could emboss it. I'm just using some Wow Clear Gloss Superfine embossing powder and heat setting that to make it all glossy and shiny and very crisp black. Now this is probably my actual favorite product of the new release. It's a sentiment stamp set and it's called Little Bits Sentiments, and it just has really beautiful fonts and really bold sentiments, and they're great for backdrops like this. I could make an entire card panel just stamping the sentiments out in different colors, and that might be a future project on this YouTube channel. We'll see. I'm very bad at planning projects ahead, but for now, let's just use the hello and repeatedly stamp it on this panel. It's really easy to do with a stamp like this because it's just blocky and straight. So it's really easy to line it up. And it's also really easy to measure out how much you have to shift your panel. I decided on 5/8 of an inch. No. Yeah, I think so. I think it was 5/8. It's 2.5 little squares on the Misti grid. Does that make more sense? So I'm just stamping those in a couple of different blue dye inks. These happen to be by Concord 9th, but you can use any dye inks you have. I did very recently re-ink these, so I had to be very careful about stamping because I definitely added too much ink to my little ink cubes. So they were a little bit too juicy to stamp with, and it was a little bit risky to do. Now to put this card together, I found this scrap. This is all that I have left of it, and I have no idea where it came from, but it was this little Sandy Hills pattern paper. So I used that on my card front, just adhered that down with some double-sided adhesive. And I die cut the hello backdrop with a rectangle die, backed it with some cardboard, and this is great to prop panels up on. I really like using cardboard because it's a lot sturdier than foam, whether you're using craft foam or foam tape, sorry. So it's a lot sturdier and it's very light. So it's not lighter than foam tape, but it's lighter than stacking different sheets of cardstock together. I am propping the surfer dude up on some foam tape, and that pretty much finishes the card. Now I do have a matching envelope design to share. I haven't done this in a while, but I recently went through about making, I think I made 40 envelopes because I had such a backlog of cards that I made without envelopes, and I didn't want to send them without a matching envelope. So I finally caved and got cracking on those, and now I'm trying to make them as soon as I make the cards again. So I'm just adding some gems to this card here. These happen to be by Crafty Meraki, and they're a gorgeous blue. I will list all the products I used in the description below, including this envelope punch board, because it's probably my most used tool in my craft room, apart from my Misti. I love it. I love that you can make envelopes for any size card you need. And it just opens up a lot of card sizes, because usually before I had this, I only made the A2 size cards, and they're still my most made card, obviously, but it's just fun to know that I can have an envelope for any size card I want. Now I just folded that out of some white cardstock. This is a little too thick for envelopes, but who's gonna care about a sturdy envelope? It's just gonna weigh a little bit more when I mail it. I think it's still going to be pretty cheap to mail, but still. I am using the palm tree image from that same Dog Days stamp set, and I am stamping it in the same blue inks I used on my Hello card panel. I am just stamping or adding them all to my stamp, and then I can just press that down. Didn't press it down really well because the envelope is already folded, so there's some, it's a little bit harder to stamp a large image on there because there are dips and valleys in the paper since it's folded over on the other side. But it's really easy to make an ombre image like that. Just ink it up with a couple different ink cubes and stamp it down, and that's it. So that's my card, a really summery, sunny beach card. I love the Dog Days stamp set, but I definitely love the little, I keep forgetting what it's called, the Little Bit Sentiments stamp set. I just really like the layout of all the sentiments, and they're just really, really fun sentiments. If you noticed a spelling mistake in the version I have, that is not the version that is going to be selling or is selling. The design team always gets some earlier products, and there was a spelling mistake in it, and it has been fixed now, so it won't be there when you purchase yours. And this hello is, just this hello is worth the sentiment stamp, in my opinion. I love a good hello stamp set. I hope you like the card, I hope you like the products I showed, and I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video, and tune in back next week when I'm back with another project. Thank you so much for watching.